Hi kids. I just wanted to check in with you, a little bit of housekeeping. So it seems that we're starting to open up. And I do know that California started to open up a few days ago and they're seeing spikes in the virus going up. I heard that we have been having more incidences in our neck of the woods, in our little piece of paradise since the Memorial Day grand opening. And I'm wondering, I just wanted to check in and see how people are doing and how we should move forward. You probably read it in the ticker or in the paper, but Building 50, the Commons was inundated with water, and Building 50 had 8 feet of water in the basement. And the hardest hit businesses there were Pepe Nero out back in the parking lot and Yoga for Health. I got a sort of a hysterical email yesterday from Libby, the owner, and the water had poured down the ramp, the handicapped ramp, like an aqueduct, and flooded the entire yoga studio. And I think they're under about 5 or 6 inches of water, and they have to rip the whole thing out. The entire downstairs has to be ripped out. It's devastating. I mean, first pandemic and now this. So I'm not going to be teaching there or seeing clients there for at least till the fall. And then I wondered, but what's going to happen in the fall, right? So I wanted to check in with you and find out where you're at. I'm enjoying making these videos for you a lot. I think about how I might make them better. I heard from one of you a request, would there be a way for me to organize them better, because looking for the video to practice again was difficult, so maybe my descriptives could be better. Any ideas you might have for that, let me know. I also know that one of you are watching and it's a bright spot in your week, but I don't know largely if you're enjoying them, if they're of benefit, if you're learning something, if it gives you something to think about. Do you want me to continue? Are there things I could do differently? Are there things you'd like to learn that are specific? Maybe I should resurrect my Facebook page, which I created just for the Tai Chi class I was teaching in Traverse a few years ago. It's a private group, and you know, it'd be a way to communicate, and you could even send videos of yourself. We could even try meeting on Zoom maybe once a week, although it is quite difficult for movement because it's so far away and you're this big. You know, teaching Feldenkrais, I can sit right next to the computer and look at the little Hollywood squares, but Tai Chi is something different. But it does, you know, when you're talking, the Zoom does highlight you and your picture becomes big. So that's something I'd be open to. I have been more or less keeping track of punching your cards, and I want to thank you so much for the generous suggestion and offer to continue punching your cards for the videos. I have not punched them for every single video I have done or posted because I just was like maybe I wasn't happy with the video, or it was a short video, or anyway, I just didn't. So but if you want to continue on in our new format, I can make those of you who are through your cards some new cards if you want me to do that. Maybe you want to take the summer off. I don't know. Things are really, I mean, I thought we'll be back in a few weeks, and we might not be back for a few more months. I just this afternoon had a very long conversation. Oh, I'm sorry, Angel. Had a very long conversation with a friend of mine who is a ballet teacher in New York City, and she has been teaching ballet for a university on Zoom with people holding onto their dresser drawers in between their bed and their bookshelves. And she said it became quite a transformational experience for all of them once she figured out how to connect, how they could all connect. Because she said they started out, some of them depressed. I don't want to be here. I want to move. I want to dance. I'm trapped in my apartment. I'm on the carpet. I don't want to be on the carpet. And so she started out by having them all, everybody come together and just talk about how they were feeling and what they wanted from this whole experience. And they really drilled down till it at the end. She just finished her last class last week. She would have them describe in a few words where they were at, what they wanted, and how they wanted what they wanted out of the experience as a haiku, as a few words. It became like poetry. And rather than spending the first 45 minutes checking in with all her students, it became a 5-minute poetry reading, and then they went on, and apparently they loved it. So, there's nothing us human beings can't do, and I believe that we are wired to thrive in changing situations as things continue to shift and change. And while I was yearning for connection and contact and to be back with everyone and in a studio and touching and interacting, I know that may not be for a while. So, and what do the Buddhists say? That the root of unhappiness is in yearning for something that you can't have. I hope you're enjoying practicing it at home. I hope you have been able to go inside, maybe more than before. Sometimes coming to class becomes the excuse to not practice. And Master Zhang used to say for us, you come to class to learn, you practice at home. You don't come to class to practice, you come to class to learn. And I think that's really true. You take what you learn and you try it on. And I think there's also immense freedom in practicing on your own. I know I certainly found that when Master Zhang would go off. Master Zhang would go off and teach workshops around the world. And he wouldn't tell anybody. He would tell one person. He'd say, don't tell anybody, I'm going to Ireland. And then he'd take off and he'd be gone for like 3 weeks. And everyone would show up to class and we're like, where's Master Zhang? And no, we were supposed to gather and practice. And I found a tremendous amount of freedom with him not being there and just practicing with everyone, because I wasn't under his critical, demanding eye. I could take some liberties to experiment. But I allow you all to experiment anyway, but you know what I mean. So anyway, blah, blah, blah. Let me know where you're at. Shall we carry on? Shall we experiment with a new format? Shall we plunge into summer like we usually do and not worry about schedule, staying at home, getting stuff done, or not? Yeah? Okay. 好了. Oh. Linda, you asked what is 好了. 好了 is okay. Like, okay, let's go. Bye. 好了. 好 is good. 不好 is no good. And then there's a word for terrible, but I forget it. But 不好 is bad. And 好了 has a lot of meanings. It's like, okay, goodbye, let's go. Okay. 好了. Let's practice. Okay.